Chosen one, stop what you're doing right now, and let the world around you fade away for just a moment. This is not just another message, this is the divine revelation you've been waiting for. I want you to lean in and hear the truth that has been quietly stirring within your spirit. This message is not for everyone. If you're reading this and you feel a sudden resistance or discomfort rising in your heart, it's okay to click away, because this message is for the chosen ones, those set apart by God for a purpose much greater than anything they can currently comprehend. If you're still with me, then the first sign has already manifested in your life. You are here because God has marked you for something extraordinary, and His timing has brought you to this moment. For those of you who are still listening, you are about to receive confirmation. There are 3 distinct signs that have been unfolding in your life, signs that confirm, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that you are one of the chosen. I want you to pay attention because these are not just random occurrences. They are divine interruptions, meant to get your attention and prepare you for what God is about to do in your life. In the next few minutes, you will understand why you have been set apart, why your path has been so different, and what God is preparing you for. If you've ever wondered if your journey has a purpose, or if you felt like the world around you isn't quite aligning with the way it's supposed to, I am here to tell you that this is not an accident. You've experienced something many others never will, a calling so deep and profound that it shakes you from the inside out. But for now, let me be clear, this is not a call to greatness based on your own strength or ability. This is a calling from God, who has seen something in you from the very beginning of time. Before you even took your first breath, He knew you. You were set apart to carry out a purpose that will not only change your life but the lives of many others. It's a calling that comes with divine responsibility, but also divine favor. And you are about to step into it. Now, I know it's not always easy to believe that you are part of this divine purpose, especially when life feels overwhelming. Perhaps you've questioned why you wake up at odd hours, why the world feels a little quieter and heavier, or why some relationships have changed and no longer serve the purpose they once did. It's possible you've been feeling unsettled, like there's something greater on the horizon, but you're unsure of how to step into it. This unsettling peace, where anxiety and tranquility coexist, is exactly what I want to address. It's a sign of divine transition. You are standing between 2 worlds, one foot in your wilderness and the other in your promised land. This is the moment where things are shifting, whether you realize it or not. But before we go deeper, I want you to acknowledge that this is not about feeling chosen in the traditional sense. The feeling of being chosen doesn't come first, it's the obedience to God's calling that matters. Remember, Joseph didn't feel chosen when his brothers betrayed him, when he was sold into slavery, or when he was thrown into prison. But his story didn't end there. God had a plan for him all along, and that plan was bigger than anything Joseph could have imagined. Just as God had a plan for Joseph, He has a plan for you. So, as you read these words, I want you to stop doubting your calling. Your struggles are not punishment, they are preparation. Every part of your journey, the pain, the isolation, the waiting, is preparing you for the destiny that God has already laid out for you. If you felt overlooked or like you've been in the dark for far too long, I want you to know that your time is coming. The breakthrough you've been waiting for is closer than you think. Hold on. God is about to reveal something in your life that will leave you, and those around you, speechless. Your story is just beginning, chosen one, and this message is only the first step in activating that calling. Keep listening, and let God's word guide you into your destiny. Chosen one, as you continue to listen, I want to share with you the 3 undeniable signs that confirm you are part of something much greater than yourself. These signs are not coincidences. They are not mere happenstances or random events. No, these are divine interruptions, signs that God has been speaking to you, even when you didn't fully understand what was happening. If you felt like there's more to your life than meets the eye, that there's a higher purpose calling you, these signs are the proof you've been seeking. And today, I'm here to unveil them for you. The first sign that marks you as one of the chosen is the awakening that happens in the stillness of the early hours. Have you ever found yourself waking up between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m., wide awake, with your mind alert and your spirit restless, yet you can't explain why? It's not because of an alarm or a pressing need to use the bathroom. No, something deeper is stirring within you. You lie there in the quiet darkness, unsure of what exactly is happening, but you sense a shift, a divine interruption. This is not insomnia, as some may label it. This is God adjusting your frequency. Psalm 63 verse 6 speaks to this, saying, "When I remember you upon my bed and meditate on you in the watches of the night." These watches of the night are not just the hours when the world sleeps, they are sacred moments when God's voice is the loudest, for the world is still and quiet, and there is space for Him to speak into your spirit. You see, God often chooses the stillness of the night to reveal His plans and stir the hearts of those He has chosen. When you find yourself waking in the early hours, know this is not a random event. It is a divine call, a subtle nudge from the Almighty, preparing you for what lies ahead. It's in those quiet moments that God adjusts your spiritual frequency, aligning your heart and mind to His purpose. But the second sign that you are one of the chosen ones may seem less obvious. You may have noticed recently that certain people you once considered close, have started to feel distant. Their presence no longer brings the comfort it once did. Their conversations drain you, and their energy feels heavy, like an anchor weighing you down. You may have even felt an inexplicable urge to distance yourself from them, even though these people have been a part of your life for years. This is not a matter of judgment. Rather, it's a sign of divine repositioning. God is removing certain individuals from your life because He is preparing you for the next chapter. Proverbs 13 verse 20 states, "Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm." It's not about rejecting others but about recognizing that where God is taking you, certain relationships can no longer go with you. Some people are meant to be part of your past, not your future. God is preparing rooms for you that you couldn't access with those same associations. The relationships that once seemed integral to your journey may now feel like shackles, limiting your growth and preventing you from stepping into the fullness of your calling. As you feel the distance growing between you and others, don't be discouraged. This is not a rejection, it's divine preparation. God is positioning you for greater things, and that often means stepping away from those who cannot walk with you into the new season He is creating. Now, the third sign is perhaps the most perplexing, but also the most profound. In the last 48 hours, you may have experienced a strange mix of peace and anxiety. Yes, peace and anxiety, two seemingly contradictory emotions existing side by side. This is a divine paradox, one that can only be explained by the presence of God. You see, there are moments in life when we stand at the threshold of something new, something big, and our hearts are filled with both excitement and fear. It's a moment of transition, where one foot is in the past and the other is stepping into the future. This moment is what I call the divine transition. You feel an anxiousness about your current situation, yet deep down, you also sense that everything is going to be okay. This is what Philippians 4 verse 7 refers to as the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding. This is the kind of peace that doesn't make sense in the natural. It doesn't come from circumstances, and it doesn't rely on the world around you being in order. No, This peace is from God Himself, and it serves as a reminder that even in the midst of confusion and transition, He is in control. You may not see the full picture yet, but this peace is a divine marker, letting you know that you are on the right path. It's a peace that comes when you are standing at the edge of your wilderness, about to step into your promised land. You might feel uncertain about what lies ahead, but this peace tells you that God has already gone before you, preparing the way. If these three signs resonate with you, I want you to stop and take a moment to reflect. Do you recognize these divine interruptions in your life? Have you experienced the quiet wakefulness in the early morning hours? Have you felt the shift in your relationships, the urge to step away from certain people? And have you felt that strange mixture of peace and anxiety, knowing that something is about to change, even though you're not quite sure how? These signs are not coincidences. They are divine confirmation that you are marked for something great. God is positioning you for greatness, but it requires your obedience. You've been chosen not because you're perfect, but because He has seen something in you that will bring glory to His name. Your struggles are not in vain. The challenges you've faced, the pain you've endured, the relationships you've had to let go of, these are all part of your divine preparation. The signs you've seen, the stirring in your spirit, they are all pointing toward the destiny God has already prepared for you. So, embrace these signs, recognize them for what they are, and know that you are not walking this journey alone. God is with you, guiding you, and calling you to something beyond what you can imagine. Chosen one, I know that as you walk through life, you've wondered at times about your true purpose, especially when the road ahead seems unclear or the world around you seems indifferent to your struggles. You felt something inside you, a knowing, a calling, something divine whispering to you, that you are meant for something greater. Yet, there are moments when you question that calling. You've looked at others who seem to glide through life with ease, and you've wondered why your path is so hard, so full of twists and turns. But I want you to hear this truth: being chosen is not about being better than anyone else. It's not about being perfect or polished or even qualified in the way the world sees qualifications. No, being chosen is about being set apart for a divine purpose, one that only you can fulfill. God sees something in you that He can use for His glory, even when you feel unworthy or unprepared. This calling, this divine selection, is not based on your perfection but on God's perfect plan. Long before you were born, God knew you and He marked you for this purpose. Ephesians 1 verse 4 tells us, He chose us in Him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before Him in love. Think about that for a moment. Before you even took your first breath, God had already chosen you. He knew you. He called you. He set you apart. This divine calling has nothing to do with how you see yourself right now. It is rooted in God's perfect vision for your life, a vision that transcends anything you can comprehend in your present circumstances. I know that sometimes you look at your past and feel disqualified, maybe because of mistakes you've made or the struggles you've endured. But let me remind you that God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called. It's not about your resume, it's about your obedience to His call. Think about the story of Joseph, a young man who seemed to have everything going against him. He was sold into slavery by his own brothers, thrown into prison on false accusations, and forgotten by those who could have helped him. Yet, through it all, God's hand was on him, guiding him through every hardship, every betrayal, every moment of despair. Joseph's story isn't just about hardship, it's about how God used that hardship to mold him into the man He had called him to be. Even when Joseph's brothers betrayed him, even when he was falsely accused and locked away, God was positioning him for something greater. God was refining his character, teaching him patience, wisdom, and integrity, qualities that would later allow him to lead with great power and wisdom in Egypt. Joseph's story shows us that the road to the fullness of God's calling is often paved with difficulties, but those difficulties are the very things that prepare us for what is to come. Joseph didn't feel chosen when he was in that pit, when he was in prison, or when he was abandoned by his family. But in every season of his life, God was working behind the scenes, preparing him for his destiny. And when his moment came, Joseph stepped into his purpose, not just saving his family, but saving nations. His brothers, who once sought to destroy him, came to him for help, and they had no idea that the brother they had abandoned was the one holding their survival in his hands. This is the truth for you as well, chosen one. Your story, too, has been written by God before you even knew it. Every pain you've experienced, every trial, every tear, it has all been part of your preparation. What looks like failure to the world is actually the refining fire that shapes you into who God has called you to be. And even in your darkest moments, when you feel like you're farthest from your purpose, God is working. Your current circumstances are not your destiny. They are simply the stepping stones leading you toward the greatness that God has already planned for you. But I want to make something clear here: being chosen does not mean that your journey will be without struggle. In fact, the very fact that you have been chosen means you will face challenges that will test your faith, your strength, and your resilience. But take heart, because these challenges are not meant to break you. They are meant to build you, to prepare you for the purpose God has set before you. You are being shaped, molded, and refined, just as Joseph was. And when your time comes, you will step into your destiny with a strength and wisdom that can only come from the trials you faced. God doesn't waste anything. Every moment of pain, every season of waiting, every obstacle in your path is part of His divine plan for you. He's preparing you to be a vessel of His glory. So, when you face hardships, when you wonder why things are so difficult, remember that you are being positioned for greatness. God is not punishing you, He is refining you. And He is getting you ready for the calling that He has already placed on your life. The second truth I want to share with you, chosen one, is that God has a unique purpose for your life. The people around you may not understand it, but that's okay. You are not called to fit in with the crowd, you are called to stand apart. God has positioned you where you are for a reason. And just like Joseph, you may have to walk a difficult road to get to where He's taking you. But the road is necessary. It's not about getting to the destination, it's about the transformation that happens along the way. As you continue to walk through life, I want you to hold on to this truth: being chosen by God is not about your perfection. It's about His purpose. It's about His plans for your life, plans that were made long before you ever knew what they looked like. And the more you align with His calling, the more you step into the identity He has given you, the more you will see His hand at work in your life. Chosen one, I urge you to stop doubting your calling. You are not here by accident. You are not here to blend in or to live a life of mediocrity. You are here because God has chosen you for something greater. And no matter where you are in your journey, no matter what struggles you face, God's hand is upon you, and He is leading you toward the greatness that He has already ordained for you. Every step, every moment, every challenge is part of the divine process that is shaping you into the person God has called you to be. Trust in that process, for it will lead you to your destiny. And when you reach it, you will look back and see that every part of your journey, every hardship, and every triumph was necessary for the purpose that God has for your life. Chosen one, now that we've explored the signs that confirm your divine calling, I want to take you deeper into understanding what happens when you finally accept this calling and begin to step into the transformation God has set before you. It's not enough to simply acknowledge that you've been chosen, you must also embrace the process, trust in the divine timing, and be willing to transform from the inside out. The journey from your present to your divine destiny is not a straight line, but rather a series of steps that will require your faith, obedience, and willingness to change. And it is in this willingness to change, to grow, and to become who God has destined you to be, that the true power of your calling is unlocked. I want you to think about Joseph once again. We've already seen that his journey was filled with betrayal, hardship, and pain. He didn't simply wake up one day and find himself in the position of power he was destined for. No, Joseph's path was long and arduous, and he had to be shaped and prepared through every trial he faced. His trials weren't meant to break him, they were meant to prepare him. They were necessary for his growth, his development, and his eventual elevation to a position of great influence. Joseph was chosen, but he had to be transformed in the process. And so it is with you, chosen one. You are not just being called, you are being transformed. Every experience, every challenge, every moment of uncertainty is part of the process of molding you into who God has designed you to be. When Joseph was sold into slavery, it was not just a painful betrayal, it was the beginning of his preparation. He could have allowed bitterness to take root in his heart, he could have given in to despair and hopelessness, but he chose to trust in God. Even in the most difficult circumstances, Joseph remained faithful, and as a result, he was entrusted with more responsibility and influence. This is the power of transformation through faith. The same is true for you, chosen one. Your circumstances, no matter how difficult they seem, are not here to break you. They are here to build you, to strengthen you, to refine you. You are being prepared for something far greater than you can even imagine right now. But I also know that sometimes, in the midst of struggle, you may feel like you're at a standstill. Perhaps you've reached a point where everything seems to be falling apart, and you're wondering why things aren't changing. You've prayed, you've believed, you've tried to do everything right, but the breakthrough hasn't come. This is where I want you to remember the story of Marcus. Marcus was 45 years old when he lost everything, his business, his marriage, and his home. He was left with nothing but the clothes on his back and the shame of failure. It would have been easy for Marcus to give up, to let the weight of his circumstances crush him. But he didn't. Instead, he turned to God. He didn't have fancy prayers, he didn't have all the answers, but he had raw, honest conversations with God. And even when nothing changed for months, Marcus continued to trust. His breakthrough didn't come overnight. He had to volunteer at a homeless shelter, not because he had anything to give, but because he needed purpose. But then, in the most unexpected way, Marcus met someone from his past, someone he had helped years earlier. This person had been praying for someone with integrity to manage a new division in his business, and Marcus, though broken and seemingly far from his prime, was the answer. Within months, Marcus was not only back on his feet but was thriving again. He went on to rebuild his life, his business, and even found love again. His breakthrough came not because he gave up, but because he trusted God even in the most uncertain and painful moments. Just like Marcus, you may find yourself in a place where it feels like your life is falling apart. You may feel forgotten, unseen, or like your dreams are out of reach. But I want to remind you, chosen one, that your current situation is not your final destination. God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating events, shaping you, and preparing you for the greater purpose He has for your life. But here's the key: you have to stay faithful. You have to continue walking, even when you can't see the full picture. Even when it feels like nothing is changing, trust that God is working in the unseen. And this transformation isn't just about external circumstances changing. It's about an internal shift that happens when you embrace your identity as God's chosen one. This shift begins when you change the way you speak about yourself. You see, chosen ones understand the power of words. They understand that what you speak over your life can either propel you toward your destiny or hold you back. This is where the third tool I want to share with you comes in, the identity shift exercise. This exercise is simple, but it's powerful. Every time you catch yourself speaking negatively about yourself, every time you say, "I can't do this," or "I'm not good enough," or "I'm too broken to be used," I want you to stop and rephrase it. Choose to speak the truth about who you are in Christ. Instead of saying, "I am too tired," say, "I am being renewed." Instead of saying, "I don't know what to do," say, "The answer is already in me, and I am listening for it." Instead of saying, "I am struggling," say, "I am in transition, and God is moving me to the next level." This may feel awkward at first, but with each declaration, you are shifting your identity. You are choosing to align your words with the truth of who God says you are. And as you do this, you will begin to see changes, not just in your circumstances, but in your mindset, your attitude, and your entire perspective on life. It's easy to look at your situation and feel discouraged. It's easy to give in to the temptation to speak defeat over your life. But remember, you are not defeated. You are chosen. You are called. And with every declaration you make, you are activating the power of God within you. Words are not just sounds, they are seeds, and the seeds you plant today will determine the fruit you reap tomorrow. Speak life, speak victory, and speak truth over your life, chosen one. As you do, you will begin to see the transformation that God has been preparing you for. This process of transformation, of stepping into your calling, is not easy. It requires sacrifice, it requires faith, and it requires you to surrender to God's will, even when you don't fully understand it. But know this, God is with you. He has called you, and He is equipping you. The road may be long, and the journey may be filled with obstacles, but with every step, you are becoming more of who God has created you to be. And when you finally step into the fullness of your purpose, you will look back and see that every struggle, every setback, and every challenge was a necessary part of your preparation. So, as you continue on this journey, remember that transformation is happening, even when you can't see it. Trust in the process, embrace the tools that God has given you, and walk boldly into your destiny. You are chosen, and nothing can stop what God has ordained for your life. Chosen one, as you reflect on the journey we've just shared, I want to leave you with this truth: everything you've been through, everything you are going through, is leading you to something far greater than you can currently understand. The struggles, the hardships, the moments of doubt, all of it is part of God's divine process to shape you, to refine you, and to prepare you for the calling that is uniquely yours. I know it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the weight of your circumstances, especially when things don't seem to be changing or when the road ahead is unclear. But trust me when I say this, you are not walking this path alone. God is with you every step of the way, and He is working all things together for your good, even when you can't see the bigger picture. I want you to understand that being chosen is not about being perfect, it's about being obedient. Joseph's life wasn't easy, and neither is yours. But like Joseph, you are being prepared for something far beyond what you can comprehend. The pit you may feel stuck in right now is not your final destination, it is your preparation ground. God is using every challenge to refine you, to build your character, and to strengthen your faith. And just as Joseph was eventually elevated to a place of power and influence, so too will you be. But before you can step into the fullness of your destiny, you must trust in God's timing and embrace the transformation that He is bringing about in your life. So, chosen one, I encourage you to take a moment and look at the road behind you. Reflect on how far you've come, how much you've grown, and how God has been faithful every step of the way. And then, with confidence, look ahead to the future that is waiting for you. The best is yet to come. You may not see it now, but God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating everything according to His perfect plan. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. Every prayer, every moment of obedience, every act of faith is building the foundation for something extraordinary. And remember, this journey is not just about you. As you step into the fullness of your calling, you will become a beacon of light for others. You will inspire those around you with your story of resilience, faith, and transformation. Just like Joseph's story was a testimony to God's faithfulness, your story will become a living testimony of what God can do when we trust in Him. You are chosen, and your life has a purpose that will impact not just your own life but the lives of many others. Keep pressing forward. Don't let the challenges discourage you. Trust that God is with you, shaping you, and preparing you for the destiny He has set before you. Your story is far from over. In fact, it's just beginning. Stay faithful, keep your eyes on the promise, and know that your breakthrough is coming. God bless you, chosen one, and remember, you are not alone. You are marked for greatness, and the best is yet to come.